is that of Ernst Kirchmayr and Todd Coleman's. And as the lights go out then, Giuseppe Romelli, well, he wants to go back to the inside, but Peter Christensen is on the inside of Giuseppe Romelli, and Peter Christensen puts himself potentially into P3. Todd Coleman is trying to outdrag Ernst Kirchmayr into turn number 1, but Ernst Kirchmayr has got that P1 position. So it's Kirchmayr from Coleman, from Skeltermar, Christensen, Romelli, Joachim Olander, Alexander Nussbaumer, and a couple of cars around through turn number 1. And that looks like Giuseppe Romelli, who's in strife in the gravel. One of the cars is Claudio Schiavone through the chicane. And you can see that he was side on to all the other oncoming cars. Great avoidance by all of our drivers in the Ferrari Challenge. Keep your eyes on the graphics on the left-hand side of your screen. If you see Giuseppe Romelli dropping down the order, then I reckon I was right. Yes, sure enough, it is the 172 car, which is beached in the gravel. Giuseppe Romelli, his race is done and dusted. Kirchmayr leading from Coleman. Peter Christensen, the best of the AM drivers. He is in P3 in the race overall. And then it's von Skeltermar and Joachim Olander ahead of Manny Franco and Jan Bernier. And the safety car is called for. And good to see that Giuseppe Romelli is out of the car and he's perfectly okay. Now you could see him getting out of shape here as he tried to go to the inside, but as he went to the inside, that line was taken by the hard-charging Peter Christensen. And there you can see a couple of other cars going for the inside line as well, and one of them tagged Giuseppe Romelli, and that's what sent him around. And huge well done to all the drivers for avoiding the Giuseppe Romelli car, which was stricken. And then whether something was broken on the car, because as he tried to recover, you could see him off into the gravel. So the order is Ernst Kirchmayr and Todd Coleman. The best of the AM drivers is Peter Christensen ahead of Joachim Olander. And now Todd Coleman has another opportunity, potentially, as the safety car goes back into the pit lane and the race resumes. Todd Coleman chasing down Ernst Kirchmayr. The top two have fairly left everyone else standing. Coleman takes a look at the outside, thinks better of it. Ernst Kirchmayr runs just a little bit wide. This will allow Coleman to get alongside, but it's the outside going into the chicane. And Ernst Kirchmayr protects that inside line as the safety car period is under investigation. And, whoa, the back end of, I think that was Jan Bernier. Yes, it is Jan Bernier. The back end of his car just let go, going through the chicane, and he makes big contact with the barriers. So, for sure, the safety car is going to be called for once again to recover the Jan Bernier car. Looks of concern down there on the pit wall. Jan Bernier is out of the car. He's perfectly okay. That's great to see. The Ferrari of Seattle driver found himself in the barriers. No one else was involved. It just looked like the back end of the car stepped out. Perhaps he was just a bit too keen on the loud pedal, and the car ended up in the barriers. Let's go back to racing once again then. And Ernst Kirchmayr's got to do it all over again, and Todd Coleman's got to try and get the better of Ernst Kirchmayr all over again. This time, I don't think Coleman is looking quite as aggressive as he did last time around. Whoa, I'm wrong, as he dives to the inside. Discretion the better part of valor there as he steered out of it to avoid contact with the Ernst Kirchmayr car. So, he has got the hurry up now, and Ernst Kirchmayr is really having to defend. You can just see the Paolo Scudieri car there. Now, bear in mind, Paolo Scudieri is being chased down by Paul Rogers, who's made a fantastic progress in this race. He has just been passed by Christian Kinch, and he's got Tommy Lindroth behind him now. So, Paul Rogers running in P16 in the race overall. So, Kirchmayr continuing to lead. Now he's trying to eke out something of a gap from Todd Coleman. It's up to just under a second between P1 and P2. Now, if you get a very good exit from the Puccini turn, you can use this start-finish straight and make a move along the outside, which is exactly what Jeremy Clark is trying to do here as they ride the crest going in towards turn number 1. And there you can see the pit wall admiring that potential overtake. So it's Kirchmayr from Coleman, and Kirchmayr then, let's get a live gap then as he crosses the timing line. I said it was almost up to a second. Well, it's 1.476 now. And Lisa Clark coming under threat now. Lisa Clark then, who is currently running in P22 with Brett Jacobsen and Alexander Nussbaumer for company here. Is Nussbaumer going to try and move around the outside? Yes, he is. He's in the red 488 Challenge Evo, all the way around the outside of Lisa Clark. It would give him the inside line going into the chicane. He's got the momentum. He's got the confidence. Brilliant overtake from Alexander Nussbaumer on Lisa Clark, and Brett Jacobsen stays precisely where he was. So good move from Alexander Nussbaumer, European driver up against two North American drivers, although Lisa Clark, of course, has competed in Europe on a number of occasions this season and is a very welcome addition onto the grid whenever she races. Jonathan Satchel is doing a good job as well. He's in P21. And there you can see the 323 car of Brett Jacobsen, then the all-blue livery on that 488 Challenge Evo car, continuing to try and find a way by Lisa Clark. Meantime, Ernst Kirchmayr, well, with the pressures off the championship, he's won the Ferrari Challenge European Coppa Shell Championship. He's been able to leave caution to the wind and extend his margin even further over Todd Coleman. And it's now up to just over 2 seconds between P1 and P2. Von Skeltermar is under pressure from Manny Franco. Manny Franco on the outside of Von Skeltermar then as they contest the final podium place for Coppa Shell drivers. Von Skeltermar, of course, with lots of experience here at Mugello. Manny Franco, who has made such an impression on us this weekend. P2 tries around the outside, but is denied by the sharp biting shark's teeth of Von Skeltermar, who retains that P3 position. Manny Franco is in P4. Peter Christensen continues to lead the AMS ahead of Joachim Olander, Josef Schumacher and Maurizio Pittori. And Christensen is being caught just a little bit now by Joachim Olander, but I wonder whether it is all rather too late. But Manny Franco has not given up on this battle. With 8 minutes of the race remaining, he can see and smell the opportunity of a podium here as he tries to outdrag Von Skeltermar once again. And Peter Christensen is being buoyed along by this battle. Franco is on the inside of Von Skeltermar now. So in towards turn number 1 they go. Is this going to be a change for P3? Well, Franco carries a lot of speed, but he does it. Von Skeltermar nonetheless will surely fight back, and he will want to wrestle that podium place back once again. So Manny Franco, great racing. Here's our race director.
Safety car is deployed. Safety car.
And it is because Paul Rogers is in the gravel. That's a great shame. So Paul Rogers then, well, looks to me like Claudio Schiavone and Paul Rogers came together, and unfortunately the big loser there was Paul Rogers, who ends up in the gravel. He's a stellar competitor is Paul, and very sorry to see him with the world final race finishing in the gravel trap. Now, can Todd Coleman? Presumably this has got to be the last safety car in this race. So it is now or never for Todd Coleman, who's on the outside. Now he's got to try and hold that speed and hold the momentum. Ernst Kirchmayr drifts just a little bit towards the middle of the circuit, which denies Todd Coleman the opportunity to come through. But Todd Coleman's going to have Manny Franco all over him now, because Franco, of course, got by Von Skeltermar. This is the fight for the final podium position then for P3. At the moment, Todd Coleman is P2, Manny Franco is P3, but the leader on the final lap of the Coppa Shell World Final race is Ernst Kirchmayr. The leader of the Coppa Shell AMS race is Peter Christensen as the cars round the final turn and head towards the checkered flag. The Coppa Shell World Final race is complete. Ernst Kirchmayr is world champion and Peter Christensen is world champion for Coppa Shell AM.